Hazel stood at the fork in the path, the cool wind tousling her hair as she faced the two trails ahead. To her left, a path overgrown with vibrant flowers led towards the peak of her dreams, becoming an inventor, someone whose creations would change lives. To her right, a steeper, rock-strewn trail climbed toward her family's legacy, the clockmaking business her grandfather had poured his life into, now struggling and in need of a steady hand. Both peaks called to her, shimmering with the promise of fulfillment. "Why choose?" she whispered to herself, her voice bouncing off the quiet trees. "I can conquer both." With that thought, Hazel leapt forward, her heart brimming with determination. One moment she was on the invention path, furiously sketching schematics, brainstorming features that could revolutionize everyday tools. The next, she was in her family's dimly lit workshop, painstakingly repairing intricate gears, the smell of oil and wood varnish grounding her in the world of tradition. She was sure she could balance it all, refusing to believe she had to give one up for the other. In the beginning, it seemed to work, but as weeks wore on, the vibrant flowers of the invention trail began to fade. Unfinished sketches piled up, her prototypes left forgotten. Meanwhile, the ticking of her family's clocks grew harsher, less precise, as her rushed repairs lacked the meticulous care they once held. Slowly but surely, Hazel began to falter. "This isn't working," she muttered under her breath after another sleepless night. Her hands trembled with exhaustion as she moved between projects, a frantic voice in her mind urging her not to fail at either. But trying to hold on to both paths felt like standing in two boats drifting apart. Each step forward pulled her farther from her center. The breaking point came on a cold, blustery afternoon. It had been days since she last slept, and she was repairing an antique clock passed down through generations. Her hand slipped, and a crucial gear fell to the floor, shattering. The sound echoed in the workshop like a thunderclap. Hazel froze, staring at the fragments, her chest tightening. Tears rolled down her cheeks. This is what happens when you chase too much and lose it all. For hours, she sat amidst the pieces, wrestling with her guilt. And then, finally, clarity broke through the chaos. She had to choose. With a trembling heart, she packed away her inventing tools, carefully tucking her blueprints into a chest. "I'll come back to you," she whispered to her dreams, "but for now, my family needs me." From that day forward, Hazel poured herself into clockmaking. Her focus sharpened, and the tangled mess of her days began to smooth into a simple, purposeful rhythm. Slowly, she found joy in the tick of restored clocks, in the craftsmanship and the legacy that carried her family's name. She became the heartbeat of the workshop, her steady hands earning the trust of loyal customers. The business thrived once more. And one evening, as Hazel polished the final clock of the day, a renowned collector entered her workshop. He marveled at her work and spoke of her skill with admiration. But then his eyes flicked to her desk, where a half-hidden schematic peeked out.
"Do you invent as well?"
Shyly, Hazel revealed her old sketches. The collector studied them, his expression lighting up.
"These are brilliant," he said. "I know a firm. Their apprenticeship program could help refine these into reality. Would you be interested?"
Hazel's breath caught. Her two paths were no longer competing. They had converged in a way she could have never imagined. By focusing on one summit, she had unknowingly created a bridge to the other. This was not failure, but rather the wisdom of patient effort, a lesson she would carry for life. Sometimes, she thought with a smile, singular dedication is the first step to truly catching both dreams.